So I want to make a video about failure. And basically that failure is the only thing. Like, we live in a world where everyone tries to avoid failing. And I was just having a conversation with my girlfriend about, a bunch of shit. And briefly talking about failure, and it had me thinking, we all think failure is a bad thing. What we don't realize is failure is the only thing. There is only failure. When you were born, your first attempt to walk was a failure. Your first attempt to crawl was a failure. Your first attempt to not shit your diaper is a failure. Your first attempt to not pee the bed is a failure. Your first attempt at anything is a failure, because that's what life is. A constant failing and learning. Trying things out just to see what doesn't work so you can get closer to what does work. The problem is that we live in a world where everyone wants to, I don't know, they want to try something and they want it to succeed. And if it didn't succeed, they get down on themselves, or they get sad about it, or they say, well, fuck it, I give up, or whatever. Not understanding that life itself is a process of failing and learning. The only time you failed is if you fell down and didn't get back up. But anytime you get back up is a success. We don't understand that there's no such thing as failure. There is only, did you try again, or did you give up? Giving up is failure. We are going to continuously fail until the day we die, right? We're going to get old, right? We're going to, some people, right, it's sad to say, but some people will eat healthy their whole entire life, but somehow still get cancer. Did they fail? Not necessarily, right? Some people smoke cigarettes until the day they die, and some people live to 90 years old that smoke cigarettes. Does that mean they succeeded at smoking cigarettes? No. Life is where consciousness decides to go into a body so it can make a bunch of mistakes and learn. That's all we're doing. And if you didn't learn from your failure, then maybe it actually was a failure. Because most problems that we have in life are repeated problems that we didn't solve in the past. I've just observed I make my own videos, so sometimes I watch my videos, and I'll observe that some of the problems I go through are problems that I keep going through. Because I'm not looking, there's something I'm not doing that I could be doing differently. I keep going through the problem, trying to fix the problem the same way I fixed it the last time, which only fixes it for about a year, maybe 2 years, and then I deal with the same problem. And it's not that I'm failing, it's that I'm trying the same thing and it's not working. So I should try different things. I should attempt different things, keep trying. And that's what I plan on doing. But if you can't keep trying the same thing if it's not working, because that might be why you think you're failing. Because you keep trying to do the same thing and it keeps not working, so therefore it's probably time to try something different. I think when we look at I guess it's just the way you look at it, right? If you believe in failure, then it exists, but if you don't, it doesn't. Like, the consciousness and what you believe really does dictate everything, right? Some people believe in, I don't know, magical healing, and I guess the mind is so powerful. Look up the placebo effect. Look up the fact that most of the medications the doctors give us heal us because we believe it heals us. Look up the fact that all the scientific studies that were done on the placebo effect, where they give people a sugar pill and tell them it's Advil and it takes away their headache. It's because the mind is so powerful we don't understand. So when you tell yourself you failed, if you gave yourself the ability to believe in failure, then it might exist for you. But because I don't believe in failure, I only believe in attempts, right? I attempted this, it didn't work, so I try it again, and if that doesn't work, I'll try something new, right? I'm just going to continue attempting. And I tried my first business. In other people's eyes, my first business failed because it was doing good, it was doing okay, started doing good, then it completely failed and died and couldn't pay my bills and got evicted and ended up living with my mom. And it's like they look at that as a failure. I look at that as a success, because it was so successful that I learned so much from it that the next time I start a business, I'll be able to run it correctly because I can learn from the mistake in the past. Failure is when you keep fucking repeating that same mistake in the past. Now, if I start another business and I make the same mistake, and I start another business and I start the same mistake, in my head I might think that I'm failing, but realistically, if you look from a different perspective, I'm just not learning from the past mistakes. So, I guess to wrap this up realistically, it just had me thinking about failure and how it's not real and how everything is in our head, and whatever's in your head dictates what's in your life. So I don't know, two human beings can go through the same bullshit, the same problems, the same this, the same that, but have completely different points of view and completely different emotional states on the topic, because the mind is probably different. It's the perspective of the failure that causes it to be a failure. Like I said, me failing my first business was a success, because my definition of success is different than yours. I believe it was success because I learned, and that's success. If I learned something, that's success. If I didn't learn something, then that was probably a failure. But yet, another attempt at it can be a success. No failure is permanent. Meaning, if you failed at something, you can do that something again. You can try to do that something again and attempt to do it correctly. But it's all based on you. It's all based on your mind, your mentality, what you believe in the head. Because what you believe you can do is what you can do. If you think that you could never, if you're the type of person that says, I'm not a business person, I could never own a business, then you'll never fucking own a business even if you wanted to, because your belief on it prevents you from doing it. It's your belief. Change your beliefs. It's simple. It's simple sounding, but it's not as simple as it sounds. It's actually pretty hard. It's just based on repetition. Catch yourself. If you think, oh my God, woe's me, I failed at this, it's never going to work, catch that thought. Instead of saying it's never going to work, you say, I'm going to try again. Don't say, oh, this will never work. Say, I'm going to try a different way. I'm going to try harder. I'm going to get up again the next day. Success, sometimes, is when you literally look at the day and say, well, I tried so fucking hard today. It didn't work. I'm going to go to bed and I'm going to try again tomorrow. That's how you succeed. That's how you kick failure in the ass. By simply not believing in it, right? By simply not giving it power, not giving it acknowledgement. Look at the failure as a success. What did you learn from it? And go from there.